Welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 212, Chronicle. My name is Eric.
I am Jason.
Hello, Jason.
Hi, buddy.
Hi.
How are things?
Things are better than they were the past couple of weeks.
Shaping up, aren't they?
A little bit.
See?
A little bit.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Hopefully it's a Mayan end of the world miracle.
I know you've got your fingers crossed.
I do, still. Yeah. Yeah. What about you?
I'm indifferent.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really want the world to end, but...
No, I wasn't talking about that.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just talking about how are you in general.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm feeling so much better.
Yeah.
I've got a tiny, I think I'm at about 98%.
You've got a persistent cough.
Yeah, it's still here.
Yeah.
But I feel great.
Alright, well that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was all the codeine and all the Bounce channel. Denzel Washington movies. I recommend all these things.
Yeah. I can't comment on the codeine, but I have spent many hours entertained by the Bounce channel.
Yes, It's pretty good. You know, I was really surprised because I watched it quite a bit at all times of the day.
Yeah.
Like any time from 9 in the morning, till
just to refresh, you were super sick and you were off of work for almost a week and a half.
It was just about a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I left early Wednesday and then, I would have went back to work Tuesday, but I'm actually off on Tuesday.
Right.
So I went back on Wednesday. So it was about a week. It wasn't as bad as some of my coworkers were sick for 11 days.
Right.
I feel bad for them because it was awful.
Right. But anyway, back to the Bounce channel.
Oh yeah, Bounce channel. So I watched it at all hours of the day and, I never saw Soul Train. Not one time.
Really?
Yeah.
It's weird because my friend was over here on Friday, and I was just sort of flipping through channels while we were trying to figure out what we were going to do, and fucking Soul Train was on.
It's always on when I'm over here.
Yeah.
It's like you're in tune with when Soul Train's gonna...
It was one from the 90s, I can tell you that.
Okay.
Just by all the spandex and the do-rags and weird sort of like Zubas type thing going on.
Right.
Yes.
Were people wearing knee pads, or is that more of a overweight heavy metal guy kind of thing?
That's more a heavy, metal overweight guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Middle-aged.
Yeah. But yeah, I love that Bounce channel.
Yeah.
Some good stuff.
Yeah, I've seen Blackula on there a couple times.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Some Denzel Washington movies on occasion.
Ice-T, I saw an Ice-T movie on there.
Yeah.
It was called Sonic, I don't know, something or other.
Okay.
Sonic Interrupter or something. Sonic something.
I've seen some Dennis Rodman movies on there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's full of bad goodness.
I was actually hoping for Soul Train. I was like, that might cheer me up.
Right.
Funky music.
Yeah.
Hot girls dancing with afros and
and
no, I never saw the only hot afro I saw the entire week was when I watched Bob Ross paint on PBS, which was also pretty awesome. That was when I was loaded on codeine. And if you've never made the anti-speedball that is codeine and Bob Ross, trust me, it's worth it. It's pretty awesome. I've never been more relaxed in my life.
I'm pretty sure that doped up on codeine is probably the only way I could tolerate watching Bob Ross.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Even his voice and everything?
No.
It's so, relaxing and soothing.
I don't want to watch anything that's relaxing and soothing. I want to watch something that's engaging. And I also want to watch a real artist do real artwork.
Whoa. Oh, sir, we're going to have words after this program. I have to set this aside. If I only had superpowers, I would destroy you.
Yeah? No, I'm pretty sure that I am stronger than that. And I could crush you.
Yeah, you probably could.
Yeah.
We're referring, of course, to the movie Chronicle.
Yes, and our shittiest segue yet. Oh, it's a superhero movie about Chronicle Man.
Yeah. No one has a superhero name in this movie.
No.
Although some people might go to calling one of the villains the Fireman at some point.
Could be.
Because the only costume you really see in the movie, someone does don a fireman costume to go beat people up and rob them.
Yeah, it's true. So this was a found footage movie of sorts. Came out last year. And if the listener recalls last episode, I had zero interest in seeing this movie ever.
I remember that.
Don't know that my opinion of it has changed much.
Yeah.
And that's it. I guess it wasn't as bad as I thought it might be.
Right.
Cause I've seen 4 movies. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is now my 5th.
Right. You're referring of like to the handheld shaky cam kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I've seen Blair Witch, Cloverfield, Paranormal Activity, and Wreck. And I'm good. I'm done. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Whatever you can do, I've seen it done already. It doesn't add anything to any of those movies. Maybe Paranormal Activity.
And Blair Witch, I'd say. I think that's the whole draw of that one to me.
Yeah, and that's sort of I'm sure it wasn't the first one, but I'm sure it's
the first big one, probably.
The first big one. The first one that people noticed.
Right.
But yeah, this is a thing that never needs to be done ever again.
Right.
This was a movie that absolutely didn't need it.
I agree with that. I agree with that, at least that last part. Like, I think there still might be some interesting found footage movies that could be made, but the novelty is definitely worn off.
Right.
Like, that's over. It's just people ripping that style off now.
Right.
Yeah, and this one didn't really need it. I mean, I think the only thing that it maybe added was, like, like, if the entire thing would have been just shot like, a normal film, maybe it wouldn't have felt as real in some points. Because I thought it felt pretty real. Like,
no, I think the only thing that it added, quote unquote, is that it gave the characters the chance to talk directly to the audience, which, with some creativity and some forethought, you could totally work around that.
Right.
It's called show, not tell.
Right.
And the movie did an okay job of doing that. Like, the main character, like in the very first minute, we learn that he has an abusive dad, and not because he's like talking to the camera and saying, "My dad beats me up."
Right.
Like it's showing us that his dad is like, not a great person.
Right.
And so clearly, like, the movie could do that throughout, but instead we got this found footage thing. Which, I will say this, it doesn't work against the movie at all. Like, it definitely could have been worse.
Yeah, definitely.
I really was fearing that the whole thing was going to be, like, shaky, and, like, like I'd be sick to my stomach trying to watch it.
Yeah, it was really pretty steady.
Right. Which is still an argument for, it could have totally just been
right.
a regular movie.
Yeah, it didn't have to have that.
Especially at the climax of the movie. I don't know how far we want to veer into spoiler territories here, but there is a showdown between 2 of the characters, where they are fighting each other outside of the Space Needle, where I guess this is Seattle.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
I guess I would assume.
I think so. Oh, yeah, or near in like a suburb of
right. And so both of the gimmicks that those two characters used in order to have cameras on them the entire time are gone.
Right.
And so, like, they have to, like, do something that I thought was pretty dumb just to still keep the whole camera thing going.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, just make this a real movie.
Yeah.
Shoot it with real cameras.
That way you don't have to, like, be bumbling around trying to, like, write that into the story every scene. Right.
Let's, let's watch a narrative unfold.
Right. Yeah.
And not a documentary style thing. Yeah.
Maybe in case the listener doesn't know, because I'd never heard of this movie until a couple weeks ago. It is a superhero movie, sort of, or a super-powered people movie.
Super-powered, yeah. It's it's along the lines of like the TV shows Heroes or Misfits.
Yeah. Okay.
In which normal people get superpowers, and then let's see what happens.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the plot of this movie.
Right. And I thought it was kind of fun, like, watching, because they're, just three, teenagers, and, as they sort of, like, figure out what they are going to do with their powers. Mm. I think that was kind of fun to watch, that develop.
Yeah.
They did a good job with that.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, they these three kids, it's, the main kid is, Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew.
Then there's his cousin Matt, and then their friend Steve. Although, prior to the main event of this movie, like, none of them ever really hang out.
Right, even the cousins.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
They wind up at a party, and then they find this hole in the middle of nowhere, and they decide to explore it and find some sort of weird alien craft.
Something down there, yeah. It's, very, it's alive and full of light and moves really fast and gives people powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but it doesn't speak or have a face, so we're not real sure what it is. And, I mean, like that could be an argument that maybe that should have been explored more, but it didn't really need to tell you. I mean,
it absolutely didn't. Yeah. No, I think any explanation of that thing would have just, I think, sort of taken away from the movie.
Right, veered it even more.
Yeah. And I'm sure, like, someone out there is watching this movie and just angry that they never explained it.
Right.
Cause that is a thing with people sometimes.
Oh,
yeah, I'm not a guy that needs every little thing explained to me. Just as long as it... I mean, if you are going to explain everything, make sure it serves the story.
Right.
But, if you aren't going to explain it, then, that's totally cool with me, too. Because, that would not have added anything to this, I think.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of torn because, like, the whole found footage thing, I think some of those scenes were a lot better because they were that handheld thing, but it's like you said, like, sustaining that for an hour and a half or more, as far as, like, legitimately would they be filming every scene?
Right,
Like it does kind of take you out of it at sometimes, which kind of works exactly opposite of the intent.
Right. Yeah, like things like Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch, I think, used it to really good effect. And that it just showed you exactly what you needed to see. To move those stories and to tell you what was going on and everything like that. But then in a movie like this, where it really comes down to, it's just a character study, really.
Right.
Like, it's about three dudes.
Yeah.
And, like, so, them hanging out at a diner, and, like, using their powers for, like, dickish teenage boy kind of things.
Like pranks and whatnot.
Yeah. Like, that would have worked fine without the handheld footage aspect.
Right.
Or... like, later on, we get a conversation between two of the characters where they're, like, just sitting on the top of a building, like a skyscraper. And, like, they're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
There's no reason to ever film any of that.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that was, like, I think that scene was actually the main scene that made me go, yeah, it's kind of a stretch that they'd be filming this.
Right.
And,
I mean, yeah, and, like, they do... Well, that scene specifically, they go out of their way to, like, explain sort of why that scene is included, because we're explaining that the main kid can use his powers to just sort of float the camera around everywhere.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, so it almost seems like the guys that made the movie, like, had the idea, like, wow, let's, make a found footage movie, like they watched, Cloverfield or something.
Right, yeah.
And then they're like, yeah. And then, like, at some point along the way, they should, like, after they had a pretty decent story put together, they could have just been like, you know what? We don't really need to do that angle of the found footage thing.
Right.
We've got a good movie. We don't need the gimmick.
Right, yeah.
But, I don't know. Certain points, like, when they're doing pranks, and, like, the camera's a little shaky, but then something, like, they're using their telekinesis to move something. Like, it kind of, like, those specific scenes make it look a little more real because, it's not all perfectly cinematographed,
Right,
like,
right.
It's not like there's some amazing DP in there making everything look amazing. So, like, that does add an element of realism, but, yeah, overall, it's just, that gimmick was a little clunky in this
Right.
one.
I think that's what it comes down to, is that they should have picked one or the other. And in my opinion, they should have just gone and shot it like a regular old movie.
Right.
Because I don't think that there were enough of the handheld stuff that
was essential to
Right, yeah.
Right. Like there's even scenes where there's like during the the main craziness, because it gets pretty crazy towards the end. There's a pretty big fight, and the special effects I think were great during those scenes. But they even have some it's like the narrative is spliced together from the the main character's handheld camera and like all these like security cameras from different buildings and things like that.
A girl who gets introduced in the movie simply so that another character is able to have a point of view.
Right.
I mean, that is her sole existence in this movie.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It works like twice, maybe. I mean, but
then it feels really forced.
Yeah, it does really feel forced. So yeah, they just should have just made it a narrative story.
Yeah. I think maybe like if this was like a maybe like a 15-minute film, it would have been awesome as a handheld film footage thing.
Right.
But once it got to the point where it was a feature length, it seems like that was the choice where they went a little bit wrong as far as making it the best they could have made it.
Yeah, and it just comes down to that sort of believability of nobody would record everything.
Right.
And
yeah, I mean, they try to introduce at the very beginning of the film that Andrew, the main character, wants this barrier between him and the rest of the world because he has a pretty shitty life.
Right.
So he starts filming everything to have this barrier, but it ends up attracting more unwanted attention from bullies and whatnot. So, it's clunky. It's a little clunky.
Right. But I did enjoy it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the story aspect of it. And, like you said, like, when the three kids discover that they have superpowers, and they all basically have the same power. They only get telekinesis of sorts. I guess to different degrees, though.
Right.
Where like Andrew, for whatever reason, either via practice or just, exposure, like, it is the most powerful one of the three. And then, like, Matt, like, has some sort of, like, ability to not get hurt.
Yeah.
And then Steven, is just sort of in between, I guess.
Right.
I'm gonna be super racist. Steven's the black guy.
Yeah.
And gets treated as such.
Yeah. Yeah, he fills some, traditional, stereotypical black guy roles and token roles in the movie.
Yeah. Including, spoiler, the one who dies.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. They even make a joke sort of like at the beginning of the movie because, he pulls a prank and he's like, yeah, the black guy actually did it this time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's kind of funny. And then the movie, like, makes its own joke, I guess, maybe by killing him off. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And I mean, I actually liked him as a character. And I was pretty kind of upset when he did die.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a great job, like, fleshing out all three people as individuals.
Yeah.
I mean, they all definitely were distinct.
Hey, Matt, less so than the other two.
I mean, he had his, like...
He had his moments.
Yeah, but I agree. Yeah, Andrew was definitely the undisputed main character of the film.
Right. And, so how much do you want to do? Do you want to spoil any of the rest of this? Or?
Yeah, sure. Let's spoil it up.
Okay, alright.
From here on out, spoiled.
Yeah. So we pointed out that Andrew has kind of a shitty life. And, I guess when you suddenly gain superpowers and realize that you are probably the most powerful human being on the face of the earth, you're probably, not gonna handle things very well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're used to being bullied and, watching your family life deteriorate.
Right.
You'll probably snap a little bit.
Right. And he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. He becomes the villain.
He's kind of the Magneto.
He is,
of the movie. Yeah.
And that's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Cause he is sympathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, like you totally feel for him every time that he does something.
Yeah.
Even when he, I don't know, does he actually kill anybody?
I'm sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. With the bus and there's there's not a lot of gratuitous, murder.
Right.
But I'm sure some people died with his actions.
Right. And there was sort of that one, scene where, like, I don't think he meant to kill that guy, but, he does a thing, and then, a big thing happens, and, that sort of kicks off sort of the climax of the film.
Right. It's a point in the movie where, instead of just, like, moving things with their mind, they are fucking with people, and Andrew sort of takes it over the top and really hurts somebody.
Yeah.
And it definitely, sets the tone for his kind of fall for the rest of the movie.
And so, up till this point, like, the movie really has been, like, just sort of knowing these characters and then seeing them play with their powers and up until the point, I think, where Steven dies, like, at that point it's just sort of them fucking around and just having fun and being kids.
Yeah.
And then, but then, like Andrew sort of rises to, like, sort of a plateau of, like, people like him and respect him and, he's kind of awesome, and then he has, like, a sharp nosedive. And, like, that's sort of what starts kicking off the other things. But up until then, it's all been just, like, about these characters. And then, like, in the last 20, 25 minutes or so of this movie, it becomes a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Like a traditional, like, slam bang, action film.
A lot of comic book, like, it even felt Akira-ish at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, visually and story-wise.
Yeah.
And even, like, when I think about it, Andrew was kind of like Teen Wolf a little bit. He kind of reminds me of, cause he was, a not very popular kid at high school.
Yeah.
And then, like, he starts showing off when he gets this ability and
right.
People like him and want to have sex with him. And I don't think any faculty members get their penis caught in a vacuum cleaner in this film, like in Teen Wolf, but
I don't remember that happening in Teen Wolf.
It happened off screen.
Okay.
But they talk about it.
Alright. It has been a while since I've seen it.
But yeah, it very much turns into a superhero movie, like the last half an hour, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, the entire climax is just like this knockdown, drag out fight scene kind of thing, and explosions. And
visually pretty impressive.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah. I mean, I did enjoy this movie a lot more than I really thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
But it's certainly not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination.
Right. I really didn't know what to expect at all. I'd seen one trailer for it, but I'd never heard any living person speak of it.
Right.
So I wasn't sure, but I was honestly worried that it was going to be one of those things where all of the cool effects and scenes were spoiled in the trailer because you saw a lot of the telekinesis in the trailer.
Right.
But no, there's a ton more that they didn't spoil, and some of it we didn't spoil.
Right. Yeah, I know. I never watched a trailer for this. I just, I heard the concept. Found footage superhero type movie. I was just like, I had zero interest.
Right.
And I never really heard anything positive about it. Because I listen to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of those podcasts talk about movies. And there was just never really any. There wasn't anything overwhelmingly negative that I heard, but there was also never anything super positive that I heard about this movie at all.
It's basically, this thing exists.
Right. And honestly, I think the one thing that I did hear the most was just what I kept saying about the found footage aspect of it. It was that it was just not necessary for this movie.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I really do feel like if it was a short film, it would have been a good idea to do that, but as a feature length, not so much.
Yeah. And I'm willing to say that for every found footage movie from this point on.
Yeah, it's just it's we all know that that's a way to tell a visual story now.
Right, yeah.
But just, don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Unless maybe someone comes up with a really great idea that no one's thought of.
Right.
Really, uses it to its full advantage. But, actually, the first time I think I've ever seen a handheld point of view movie, I think was actually probably a decade before Blair Witch, porno. Because there's a lot of porn where, the actress is talking right to the camera.
Right, yeah.
And it's supposed to be POV, so maybe all these people just watch a lot of porn and man, this would be a great way to tell my rom-com story. I mean, these people obviously love each other.
Yeah, so I did not dislike this movie at all.
Oh, that's cool.
I found it a lot more enjoyable than I thought I would. I was mostly just worried that it's about kids who get superpowers and they're videotaping themselves, so they're just going to be douchebags throughout the entire thing, and just them being douchey fucks. But
there's a solid 10 minutes of that, probably.
There is, but it was an enjoyable
10
minutes, because we also got to learn more about those characters than just them doing it.
Yeah, they are developing as characters during that whole thing.
Because, if you and I suddenly got superpowers, of course we're going to be douchey for
Oh
a while.
my gosh, yeah. Just a couple years, probably.
Right, yeah. So, that is... Yeah, that's an aspect to it, and I was afraid that the entire movie was just going to be that.
Right.
And then just causing chaos and being assholes, but they were well-rounded, well-thought-out characters, and well-acted.
Yeah.
By a bunch of people who I've never seen in anything.
And that does definitely help the whole found footage thing. If Robert De Niro was in a found footage movie, or, Sissy Spacek or whatever, it would just totally, take you out of it, but...
and I gotta say that I think that counts for a lot of movies, found footage or not. Just...
As soon as you see a hyper-recognizable person.
Right. I mean, even if they're really good actors, it's still just, there's that moment where you're just like, oh, hey, it's that guy.
Yeah, I saw him on Letterman the other
Right.
day.
It was, man, I had a perfect example of something like this, but I cannot remember it now.
Oh, of a guy taking you out of the film.
Or just, not recognizing, any... Oh, okay. There's a movie, and I'm sure I've talked about this before on here. Funny Games.
Yeah.
It's originally a German movie, and I watched that, a couple years ago. And I don't like the movie, but, I was able to at least garner sympathy for the characters and for the situation that they're in, and then, you genuinely like feel like tension and emotion for those characters,
Right.
Because they're all German actors, and I don't know who the fuck they are.
Right.
But then I watched the American remake, which has Tim Roth and Naomi Watts, and the only thing I can think of is, oh, that's Tim Roth and Naomi Watts, and,
Right.
You know,
It doesn't have as much. Right.
right.
It's like when I watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I was like, that's that guy from Pee-wee's Playhouse. Fuck this movie. This ain't real. I bet his bike's not even at the Alamo. Yeah, decent movie.
Yeah, decent. Yeah, it's watchable. Certainly watchable.
Yeah. And plus, I've never seen Heroes or The Misfits, so it's like that whole thing hasn't been beat to death for me.
Right, yeah.
So maybe that's part of why I enjoyed it as much.
Right. Yeah, well, Heroes collapsed pretty damn quickly. Like couldn't even make it a full season on its concept, so that died out. Like, not too long. Actually, it lasted like 4 seasons. I'm not sure how.
Yeah. People loved that. I remember every Wednesday people would be talking about it at Mavericks,
Right.
like, on New Comic Day.
Yeah, it was good for about 10 episodes. And then The Misfits is, it's on its 4th season, but it's also a British show, so like those are only like 4 to 6 episodes.
Why is that? Why do they have short?
Because they're smart.
Yeah, okay, that's probably why. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. And then it's a pretty good show, but it's mostly, like, that is definitely a show about people being absolute assholes.
Right, okay.
And, but, I don't know, because they're British, I enjoy it more. I don't know.
I like the way they talk.
Yeah. They talk funny.
They sound so smart.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, the 4th season right now is definitely not as good as previous seasons, but they've also, like, lost their entire original cast by now, so. But anyway.
Do you remember the Misfits of Science?
I don't. I know it was a thing, but I never saw it.
Man, I loved that show when I was a kid. Loved it.
The only thing I know about it, I believe, was a punchline on Night Court.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's probably around the same era.
Yeah.
Early 80s.
Right. So, yeah. Chronicle. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Could have been better, could have been worse.
Right. I think the director is the guy who is now going to be in charge of the Fantastic Four reboot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Of course, hopefully it won't be a found footage movie.
Yeah, probably not.
And the guy who wrote the movie, Max Landis, is the son of John Landis.
I was curious about that, because that's a name you don't see in film a lot. And when you do, you think of that guy.
Yeah. See you next Wednesday.
Okay.
Or just see you next Tuesday.
I think it's Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Alrighty then. There's apparently going to be a sequel. I don't know what the hell they're going to do.
It's a Chronicle?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's about other people finding the same alien or something.
Maybe. Yeah. Who knows? We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Alrighty then. I'm going to take a break.
Sounds like a plan.
Are you going to take a break?
No, I'm just going to keep talking about the movie.
Okay. Well, I might edit that out.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
But just go on ahead.
So anyway, there's this scene where they're talking about Plato's cave analogy, and I thought it was really interesting because early in the film they were speaking of Schopenhauer, who we all know is, responsible for the pessimist. because like the Tibetan monks probably wouldn't appreciate that sort of fast food enlightenment that Andrew and his friends were sort of cultivated anyway. So I mean, if they went there like they had planned, the whole thing just wouldn't have worked.
I'm back.
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
I'm doing a show here.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I just I'm done with my break.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I was pretty much done anyway. I mean, you get the picture. Just, check it out for yourself.
Okay. I mean, so you were talking this whole time?
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, like, I ran down to the store and got into the water.
I had a lot to say. Like, I'm thinking, sometimes you kind of hold back my reviews. I could get a little headier, but, we end up just talking about tits and gunshots and...
Well, I mean, I can start giving you your own show if you want.
I was kind of hinting at that.
Okay, yeah, we'll work something out.
All right, awesome.
Mind talking about tits and gore, though?
I love both of those things.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Which one do I like more?
Well,
it's a toss-up.
Really?
Yeah. I
gotta go with tits.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just barely edging out gore.
Well, see, I think I grew up in the 80s, when, VHS was, all around.
Right.
And I didn't, have any sort of, like, porno channels. So,
right.
All of my, naughty bits that I saw probably did come from horror movies.
Right.
So I sort of like, it's all intertwined in this horrible way inside my head that is probably going to require therapy.
Right. Well, hey, speaking of horror movies, our good friend Kurt Dins sent us another interview.
I love that guy.
That guy is awesome.
I wish I was stroking his beard right now. For good luck, not for anything weird. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
because that's not weird at all.
No, it's good to have good luck.
Yeah.
Everybody needs some.
So I don't know if the listener recalls, about a month ago, he sent us a very short interviewette with actor Chris Sarandon. And I thought that was super awesome.
He asks the tough questions. He gets the job done. He doesn't dilly-dally with,
Right.
He doesn't ask a million questions.
He cuts right through the bullshit.
What the people want to know, we find out.
Yes. Well, we're gonna find out something else about someone else right now.
Awesome.
Hello, this is Kurt Dins for the Gutter Trash Podcasting Network. Today I'm at Days of the Dead in Schaumburg, Illinois, with horror legend Bill Moseley. Bill has picked out his random question for the day, and now we'll answer it.
Hello, Bill Moseley here. Actually, I'm from Barrington, which is just down the road from Schaumburg. And my first car was a 58 Cadillac Brougham that my dad bought me for $1,000 at King Motors in Algonquin, Illinois. I drove it around when I was a college student then. I had it for a year. It was a great vehicle that really made me the cool guy on campus, and it finally blew up on Interstate 80 in Bettendorf, Iowa.
There you have it. Thank you.
Hey. That was great.
Kurt is great.
I love that guy.
I'm super excited that he's doing this for us now.
Oh, it adds an element.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It allows us to not talk for 10 seconds while we pause for a place to throw in that clip.
And that's what life's about. Finding the little naps and, when you can get those cat naps and whatever. Oh, that's great. It's the small things in life.
Yeah. So that's awesome. We talked to Bill Moseley.
I love that guy.
That guy is great.
He's my favorite part of, Texas Chainsaw Part 2.
I think he's everybody's favorite part of Texas Chainsaw 2.
He's on a Primus song, I believe.
Is he?
He says Dog Will Hunt in, a sample on, Seas of Cheese. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
He was Otis in the Rob Zombie movies. House of a Thousand Corpses. And,
I forgot about that.
Devil's Rejects. He was in the only musical that I've watched in the last 20-some years.
Really?
Yeah.
Calcutta?
No. Repo, the Genetic Opera.
Oh, okay.
which
I'd still like to see that.
you can watch it without me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're not a fan of the musical, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is what kept me from remotely enjoying that movie at all.
Did you almost enjoy it, though?
No.
Okay.
But I'm 100% sure it is entirely because it was a musical.
Yeah, it's just not your thing.
Nope. Yes, that was awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, Kurt.
Thanks,
buddy.
Kurt. Yeah. Look forward to the next one.
Yeah. If the world does not end next week.
That is true. That is true. Jesus Christ.
Uh-oh. I hope I didn't get you sick.
I don't know. My friend that I hung out with on Friday, I sent her a text message yesterday, and she was like, I have the flu, and I'm out for a week. And so you probably have it too.
Mm.
And I don't feel sick.
Mm-hmm.
But like, seriously, like as soon as I got that message, I was like, oh fuck, am I sick? And then like I think I started freaking myself out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, right after you were like, I'm really genuinely concerned about my friend. Then.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Of course.
Whatever. She saw a doctor. She's good.
Yeah. She's probably got some good codeine like myself.
Right. Yeah. But I've been talking for a while. As you pointed out, I don't let you talk at all, so my voice is a little scratchy.
Right.
Had some fried and syrupy things.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm sure that probably didn't help anything.
Yeah, we went to Bob Evans and saw a great cross section of humanity.
Yeah, we did.
They do have a good breakfast over there at Bob Evans.
Yeah.
It's too bad, like, you don't just get, like, herded into, like, a 2-person, like, soundproof, like, box to eat your meal, because that would be so much better.
Yeah. Of course, then I wouldn't have been able to go scouring around tables for, utensils and condiments and seasonings that we did not have at our table.
Yeah.
And we're never going to get.
Yeah, that became apparent really rather quickly.
Not great service at Bob Evans. I've been there a couple of times in the past year, and like each time there's always like one major thing that just sort of stands out. It's like, this is fucked.
Bob would not like to hear that.
Bob would not like to hear that.
No.
Yeah.
Someone ought to write him a letter.
Someone should. Right down on the farm.
Yeah, that's where he gets his mail.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, they do have great biscuits, though. I love their biscuits.
I also enjoy their biscuits and some sausage gravy.
Oh.
Some egg, some bacon, some sausage, some French toast, some pancakes.
See, they know how to do it.
Yeah. Not their orange juice, which apparently costs like $2.50 for a tiny glass.
It was like that glass was like maybe 3 inches tall. And it was like $1 an inch, that glass.
And I only know that because even though I didn't order it, it was on my bill.
I think I still owe you like 39 cents because I gave you $2 for it. I think it was $2.39 actually. If I remember right.
That's alright.
Hey, there's that Ryan Sook image of Batman that we stole and used on a flyer at Mavericks once. His screensaver, as I've talked about before, has amazing artwork that just pops and comes and goes, and we just saw an awesome Ryan Sook Batman. Which we have stolen and used for our own advantages.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's not like we're selling it.
Right.
We're using it to get people to come into the store to buy Ryan Sook comics. So,
exactly. Or Batman comics.
Or Batman comics.
Right.
Or maybe even Ryan Sook Batman comics.
I don't know that there are any.
Well, that's weird.
Should be.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because he's pretty damn awesome.
What is he doing these days?
Not much of anything.
Just covers and
I think mostly.
He did a shitload of awesome covers, like very iconic DC covers with white backgrounds there for a while.
A couple years ago, yeah.
Yeah, those were amazing.
Those were great. I know he was, he drew like 2 issues of X Factor.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he drew the first one, and then there was like a fill-in artist for like the next 5. And then he
came
drew
back.
like half of another one.
Didn't he do some X-Men recently in the last year?
Oh, I don't know.
I was thinking he did. I don't know.
I think he's doing covers for like the DC Presents or whatever that book is.
Okay.
That
Black
anthology
Lightning.
book. Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else fun's going on?
Nothing.
Are you reading good comics today or anything?
No. I ate some good Mexican today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went to this little place that it's near my parents' house. So it's nearer to my parents' house than it is to my house.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been there for years and years, possibly decades even.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And I've never been inside of it while it was that.
Okay.
Because I remember when I was a little kid, it used to be a Church's Chicken.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
And then after that, I think it was a Chinese place, like a takeout place. But then like it became a Mexican place at some point, and it's been that for a very long time. Never been inside of it. So I said, I was out in that area, and I was like, I'm hungry. I'll go here. I like Mexican.
Yeah.
And,
Who doesn't?
And it was mostly good.
That's all you need sometimes.
Yeah. I got a taco and a quesadilla, and the quesadilla was amazing, and the taco was bland.
Which is weird because the word taco is in the name of the restaurant.
It's called Taco Loco.
Yeah. And if you're ever in town to see a metal show at McGuffey's, it's right down the road.
Not right down the road. It's in the same parking lot.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Yeah. I knew it was over there.
It was 10 yards away.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I even drove to look up at the marquee at McGuffey's.
Wow.
Mushroom Head's going to be there.
Phil Anselmo may have ate tacos from that taco store.
Yeah, that's something.
I know.
Max Cavalera could have.
Oh, my God. Yeah, he could have.
Yeah.
Igor Cavalera could have.
Fuck yeah, he could have.
Igor and Max could have.
Yeah.
Wow. Man,
Jerry Only? He could have done that?
They should totally do that thing like Marion's where they take photos of, like,
Yeah.
everybody eating tacos.
That place
there.
is not big enough for that. And also, they would have no idea who those people are other than long-haired, grizzly-looking dudes.
That smell like reefer and cheap sex.
Yeah.
Metal.
Yeah. And Brian Posehn could have eaten there, too.
Oh, did he do
I'm-
McGuffey's?
Yeah. I am 90% sure Brian Posehn would have eaten there.
He was already stoned when he got to the parking lot. He had to have been hungry.
Yeah.
Is he still enjoying that Deadpool? Did you get the third one yet?
I do not have the third one yet.
Yeah, okay.
I think next week my comic ship. So
Sweet.
I look forward to putting those in a pile that I'll never read.
Yeah, because I know the third one came out last week.
Yeah. Like I said, I really enjoyed those first two. So looking forward to that third one.
That's awesome.
I haven't really read much of anything lately, actually.
I have not either since I remind management.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
not touched. I haven't touched the comic.
That was really only like 4 days ago.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I should say, to anyone who might have been concerned, I don't think they were. I don't think anyone even knew, even though I think I said it on the show, but my car was damaged in a car accident that was my fault.
It's never fun.
No. But I got that back Friday, and it is almost as good as new.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And the very first day, actually that night that I picked it up, because I picked it up Friday afternoon around 4 or so, and then around 6, my friend came over and we went out for dinner. And like when we walked out and went to the car, like there was bird shit all over the hood already.
Oh, of course. The birds were helping you crack it in for you.
Yeah. Speaking of that, when I did go to pick up the car, the guy at the body shop, because I got into an accident. I rear-ended a guy, so like the driver's side bumper was all fucked. and like the grill got like pushed into the engine block, and like the engine mount buckled, and there was like damage on the headlight and all that, but it was still drivable. But the hood also broke pretty badly.
Yeah.
To the point where I couldn't like actually use it while for what I normally do, because there was always the fear that the hood could have just flown up
Right.
in the middle of driving. So took it there, and the place I took it to. Well, I took it to like 3 different places, and they all basically quoted me right around the same price.
Right.
And I was paying for it out of pocket, because I did not get the insurance company involved in this, because I didn't want my rates to raise.
Right.
So instead I decided to go $2,300 into debt.
In the long run, probably good, though.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, it was about $2,300 is what everyone quoted me. And this place told me that they would give me a discount since I was doing out of pocket, and so it was only going to be about $2,100.
Oh, cool.
And then they called me and told me that the air conditioner got damaged in the accident, so they had to fix that too. And I mean, they didn't have to fix it, but while they're there, they might as well.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to want that in a few months.
Right, yeah. So that raised it back up to like $2,300. So I went to pick up the car and pay, and the guy was like, "So there was like got like a bag full of walnuts out of there." What? It's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I think a squirrel was living in your engine block or something.
What?
Like, what are you talking about? He was like, oh yeah, like we were taking it apart, and like we found like what would fill a bag full of walnuts just like sitting in the engine block. I think a squirrel was like putting them in there for safekeeping.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And he was like, the car been like sitting for a while? It's like, no, I drive it every day.
Wow.
Like the most I haven't driven it in the last 6 months was the week that it was at my parents' house while I waited for time to get it repaired.
Yeah.
And it was in the garage.
Right. That's strange.
So apparently, every night when I'm home from work, a squirrel was living in my car.
He was like, where's my house? Oh, there it is. It's back. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So he removed all the walnuts? And...
I assume so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
How much did they charge to remove walnuts from a car?
It was about an extra $3,000.
It's probably worth it. You don't want to get it.
It's another one of those in the long run things.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Wow, that's funny.
And then on top of all that, my phone broke this past week. So it was without any kind of communication. And normally, that's not such a big deal. Nobody ever wants to talk to me, and I don't ever want to talk to anybody else. But when I'm waiting on like information about my car getting fixed,
yeah, kind of essential.
Yeah. So I had to figure out what to do with that, and I took it to Sprint, and they couldn't fix the old phone, and they don't make that phone anymore at all. So I got a brand new phone.
Sweet.
And I'm sure it was probably just something that was like sitting in a drawer that they just couldn't sell or whatever. But,
Right. They found it at a crime scene.
Right, yeah. But whatever, free phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't had a whole lot of luck with technology lately, but...
It's been a shitty year. It has been a shitty year. And that is why I am really cheerleading that the world ends next weekend. I'm really pushing for it.
If it does, I hope it's at least after I get my Friday night margarita in.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. I'm hoping for you. But I think if Grant Morrison is right, it happens in the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he would know.
He would know.
You know, he's probably done more research than most.
He's probably talked to
the aliens.
Right, yeah.
The Incan, he time traveled to talk to the Incan spirits of yesteryear.
Mines.
That was what it was?
Yeah.
Mines. Yeah, whatever. Well, yeah.
Anything new?
Not really. I watched a shitload of movie trailers this morning.
Yeah.
Nothing that really, like, made me super excited, but, yeah, there's some cool looking movies. Like, there's a Will Smith movie that actually,
I'm out already.
it's called After Earth. It kind of looks like an Edgar Rice Burroughs story. Just like, all these weird animals and things that have evolved on the planet. And, I don't know. I saw a trailer for a movie called, Sound City. It's a documentary that David Grohl directed. About a analog music, recording studio that tons of people have used. Like, it's where, like, Nevermind was recorded. And now, I guess, like, since everything's going digital, they're kind of going out of business. And nobody's really using them. And it seemed kind of interesting because I like that anti-evolving technology thing.
Right.
So, but yeah. Other than that, that was pretty much all I did today. Was watch movie trailers. I watched the Superman trailer. I won't talk about because I know you haven't seen it,
And I never will.
and you never will.
No, okay. I think I said this. I don't know if I said this here because I can't remember. When did that trailer come out? Like last week?
I think it was last week. Yeah.
Have we done the show
I don't think
since
so.
that came out? Okay. I said this to somebody, but yeah, I'm not going to watch that version of the trailer. I'm going to watch the 2.5 hour plus version of it that's going to come out in May.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
If you know you want to see it already.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah.
There was a movie called Beasts of the Southern Wild that looks really good.
Okay. That movie's out.
Is it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been out for a while.
I just saw the trailer. And yeah, it looks kind of like it's got like a Where the Wild Things Are feel to it, but yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty much been my week.
Yeah. Sounds fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can wrap this up then, I guess.
Yeah. If you pick a good comic for us to read.
Oh, a good one?
Yeah.
Is that a prerequisite?
I was kind of hoping for a good one.
Alright, well, I can't tell you if it's good or not, because I don't know yet.
Oh, you haven't read it yet?
I haven't read it yet. But, I was thinking about it. I had one book picked out, and then, in between trying to get that read, I started reading something else, and then I realized that there's a thing we have never done on this show, and that is read a stretch of issues from an ongoing comic.
That seems bizarre to me that we haven't.
Yeah. Like, we've read miniseries and we've read trade paperbacks, but, like, we've never read just, like, issues 128 through 134 of a certain thing.
Right. Like we've read maybe the first few issues of a bunch of different series.
Right, yeah. But yeah, never anything in the middle of its run.
Weird.
So, we're doing that.
Awesome.
We are going to read, and I once warned you that this might actually happen, and you had a specific request about it. When I told you, and I am afraid that I cannot comply with that.
Uh-oh. I don't remember this.
But we are going to read, I think about 5 or 6 issues worth of Hellblazer.
Oh, okay.
Because I am in the process of trying to catch up on it entirely before it gets canceled.
All right, yeah.
But at least before the last issue comes out, which is, I think, in February, I think. I don't know. I just ordered it. I can't remember what month my orders were for. I think it's February.
I can't remember. I know it's the issue where Dr. Octopus and John Constantine switch brains, but I can't remember what month it comes out.
Right. But yeah, so I'm trying to catch up on that. And I'm about like 40 issues behind or something like that.
Oh wow. We're not reading all 40 though?
We're not reading all 40.
Okay, good.
Well, we are just reading the current storyline in which I am caught up to.
That's sweet.
And you had asked that if we read any Hellblazer, you had asked that we read something that Simon Bisley drew.
Yeah, I do remember that. Okay.
That's not happening.
Okay.
Because
You're not quite there.
He only drew like 4 issues total out of the entire Peter Milligan run.
Okay.
Peter Milligan is the writer of this current story arc. But yeah, he does the covers though.
Hey, that's close enough.
Yeah.
That's close enough.
And the reason I'm also picking this is because this storyline And this is not a spoiler or anything, but the storyline has Shade the Changing Man in it.
Oh, cool.
Of which I know you and I are both fans of Peter Milligan's Shade the Changing Man run.
For sure we are.
So I thought that that all sort of seemed like synchronicity.
Yeah.
Go ahead and pick that.
I'm down with that.
All right.
Definitely. I haven't read any Hellblazer in years. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Just in case, I believe this story arc is called Sectioned.
Sectioned.
Yeah.
Okay. In case the listener wants to read along?
In case, yeah.
Okay. Do you know what issue number's there?
I think it starts with 267.
Somewhere thereabouts.
I think it's about 5 or 6 issues long.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that, actually.
All right, then. So it'll be a neat experiment for us to do there, I thought.
This is weird.
It is a little weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, like, we usually, if we read something, we start at the beginning.
Right.
Because we read a lot of news series for us. So.
Or just graphic novels or standalone things. Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah. We have never read anything in the middle, or in this case, near the end of a run of a character.
Let's change that.
Yeah.
We're blazing new ground. Blazing new ground.
All right then.
Yeah.
Let's end this.
Yeah. It's for the best.
Goodbye. Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. You can subscribe to the show from guttertrash.net or from iTunes and leave us a review. Visit guttertrash.net for email information, links to our Facebook and Twitter pages, and for other podcasts and websites in the Gutter Trash Network. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.